Hey, what's going on? How y'all doing out there? This is your Uncle Steve here in Uncle Steve's Lounge. Welcome into the Monday Minutia, where we talk about what happened yesterday, what happened today, as far as Bijan and his headaches are concerned, and what's going to happen tomorrow. How do we sustain this momentum we have from yesterday's huge divisional win? Let's talk about it. What's going on, everybody? How you doing out there in Uncle Steve's Lounge? Thank you for joining me on this edition of the Monday Minutia. Hope everyone is doing well. Hope everyone's had a great Monday, getting ready to wrap this football weekend up. And it has been a great one if you're the Atlanta Falcons, as we are now in first place. The Atlanta Falcons at 4-3 sit atop of the NFC South with a 4-3 record, followed by Tampa Bay, New Orleans, and the winless Carolina Panthers. Welcome in. Hope you will join us for the next hour or so. Just talking a little bit about our feelings about yesterday. We had 24 hours to kind of calm down. I know that was a very up and down game. It's a game that I'm not expecting everyone to jump up and down with enthusiasm as far as how it went. But as long as we got the W, that is something that we can live with going forward. I also wanted to talk about some news we just got down in the last few minutes about the NFL, wondering why the Atlanta Falcons did not let them know about Bijan Robinson and his headaches. As you have probably seen, if you looked on AtlantaFalcons.com, Arthur Smith addressed the issue and, kind of still a little guarded about it, but he said he had some headaches. He wasn't feeling good. He wasn't sick. Bijan, of course, yesterday said he took some medicine, didn't feel well or whatever. But the NFL still is kind of like, all right, now, y'all not playing any games with us. The only problem that, in my opinion, that the NFL will have, it's not like Bijan didn't play. So, in my opinion, if the conspiracy theories of maybe there was some punishment, maybe there was something behind the scenes, I mean, who knows? But I mean, it's not like he can't choose to play his player in different formations. Bijan came on the field about 7 or 8 times. It's not like he wasn't there. So it's going to be very interesting to see how the NFL kind of approaches this from the direction of are they going to fine the Falcons for not being forthwith about what was going on with Bijan? Um, I don't know. We'll see. It's first time I can't say it's first time. It's one of the few times you see the Falcons caught up in little controversy and stuff like that. I think probably the most significant thing was when we were piping music into the building back at the Georgia Dome. So gonna be interesting to see how they uh, do that. What I wanted to talk about more today, as you see scrolling across the bottom of the screen, why the Falcons shouldn't lose their grip on first place for the rest of the 2023 season. Of course, this is hypothetical, and of course, this is in a very friendly world. So, in the world of Atlanta doing their best and all the things happening and everything lining up exactly like we're supposed to, this is the scenario we're talking about. For those of you who live in the doom and gloom, we'll talk to you in a couple of minutes. But we want to talk about what's up on the rest of this Atlanta schedule. If you really look at it, it's going to be interesting. And then last but not least, the question that we're going to ask from time to time, look, let's not pretend like there has not been a tug of war between Atlanta Falcon fans. Those who say Desmond Ritter is the future, take your time, he'll work out, you'll see, ready to tell you I told you so in 2026, those fans versus the fans who have said, yikes, some of the things I'm seeing are not the greatest in the world, and I'm not sure about him. But it does lend the question. We do this quite a bit to players, not just Desmond Ritter. We did it a lot to players in the past. They have come through Atlanta. Like, why do some Falcon fans make superheroes out of ordinary players? I know it only took 1 year. There were folks talking about Vic Beasley being the next great, awesome player. And I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out what were you basing some of the stuff on. Now, Vic Beasley, I use that should have been a bad example because he led the league in sacks. But there are some players that come through here, and I hear from draft analysis and fans will jump on the bandwagon and say, oh my goodness, he's going to be the next this, next that, next this. And it sometimes doesn't turn out that way. And I'm just wondering why. I have a theory of why. It's kind of long and convoluted. But those are the things we're talking about. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Bijan and his headaches. And more importantly, we're going to talk about why the Falcons shouldn't lose their grip on first place for the rest of the 2023 season. Before I get started, I'm going to jump right in with folks that are very appreciative. I am very appreciative of them jumping in to talk to us tonight. John Higgins, first on tap. What's going on, man? How you doing? Say, waiting on you, brother. Well, I am here, man. It also says we got the win. Ritter knows he's got to be better with the football wherever he is on the field. This is true. John Brooks is here. What's up, John? Says, what's up, Uncle Steve? I'm happy to be in first place in the NFC South, but we have to clean up some things and have to take care of the ball. Marina is here. How you doing, sir? I hope you're having a fantastic Monday. G is here. What's going on, G? David Starks, my buddy in the house. My buddy 330 in the house. What's going on, sir? A good win. Got some fundamentals to work on. No more showboating. Ritter finished the play. And I'm gonna substitute to make that word Cadillacing. And I know what you know what I'm talking about. 330. He Cadillaced into the end zone. That's what I call it. The showboat Cadillac Dioning had no business doing that. Kendra Sanders, what's going on, man? Great game yesterday. Ugly win, but it's a win. And you are absolutely right. We'll take the dub any day, any night. Oblivion Empire's here. What's going on? Say, what's up? I'm liking Ritter. It's progression. Okay. And at the end of the day, that's the name of the game. Has he progressed? I still have a little, but we'll see. Atlanta Bird Gang is in the house. I hope y'all checked out Atlanta Bird Gang and the player grades. If not, after you finish watching Uncle Steve, please switch over there and check out Mr. Tidy and his player grades. I was listening a little bit earlier. Great conversation about Nate Landman and has he supplanted Troy Anderson when he comes back off the IR this year. He says Arthur Smith said he'd have a better answer today in his presser. In the article I read a moment ago, they said the Falcons refused to comment on the NFL investigating this. I know they're not going to comment, so they know they're getting ready to get fined. And look, I know Arthur Blank, man. Arthur Blank don't like being involved in stuff like that. All that under the table stuff. I just hope everything they're talking about is above board. That's all. It sounded weird. Here's the only thing though, and I want y'all to answer while we're talking about this. Even if there was some shenanigans going on as far as maybe he didn't get the ball because of A, B, and C conspiracy theorists, he did come on the field. Who's to say that a coach has to hand the ball off to somebody during the game? I mean, by all practical purposes, he suited up, he played. I mean, he got on the field more than 10 times. So, only people you're upsetting is fantasy football players. So, how much can the NFL really? I mean, I know you're supposed to disclose injuries. I get that. But if it truly happened, it might have been lingering the night before. But if it truly was where he thought he would sleep it off and woke up that morning and said, you know what, I'm good enough to play decoy, but just hold off before me getting some hits. It's going to be a tough case, but either way, definitely kind of wondering what happened there. Justin, what's going on? Say, what's up, Uncle Steve? Does it bother you that our number one draft pick kind of punked out yesterday? Should we question his toughness? I don't know, man. I don't know. I understand where you might be going, but migraines are migraines, or headaches are headaches. And I know there's some people that may not be able to function when their head is hurting. I mean, got to put a helmet on. You got to get hit by people. Who knows? Maybe he got a concussion during practice, and they might be keeping it on the low. I don't know. And that's the problem, Justin. We don't know. So before I called, I really have a hard time calling out heart and toughness, because one, I'm not wearing the uniform, and two, I honestly don't know, and neither do any of us know what the real deal is. I would hate to. It's almost last time when the Calvin Ridley stuff with the mental health. It was a slippery slope. He said it. He said he said that's what he felt. Then we found out a couple of weeks later we had some other things going on. So I don't know. I like keeping my mouth shut probably on that, but I understand how you could think that. 330 says, did Arthur Smith pull a Belichick? Lord have mercy. I hope not. Or these days was a man up in Michigan, Harbaugh. Larry from the Dixon Way, what is going on? I'm surprised you are not on with that Philly game, but I guess you are going to be on for one of them pretty soon. Either way, if you guys want to check out some live reaction games, especially locally, I'm sure he's going to be all over the Hawks later on this week as they start their season. I'm not sure if that's in Charlotte or in Atlanta, but I know they play Charlotte. But y'all check him out. Give him a subscribe. Hit the like button. Check him out. He got things going on over there. Said 2 words. Teachable moments are what happen when your quarterback has 3 fumbles. But if you win, if you lose, that game most likely Taylor is splitting snaps in practice. Good news. Ritter can clean that up. Here's the problem, though, Larry. And it's not that I'm not being patient with him. But how many times have we used that clean up stuff? Come on, man. Come on now. Yeah. And the problem I have too with the aforementioned last fumble, when he's running into the end zone like my stuff don't stink, that bothers me. That bothers me. Demetrius is in the house. What's going on, man? How you doing, brother? Nando's here. What's up, man? Demetrius says, I just know the I love Desmond effect is coming. No, not today. All love for Desmond. I love Desmond. I don't know. David says, weak schedule, improved defense, and a punishing running game is why we shouldn't lose the chokehold on the NFC South. Larry says, sunny days fumbling those footballs away. On my air. Probably meant on my way to where the air is clean. Yes, indeed, my friend. Ray Ellison is in the house. What's going on, Ray? David Starr says, couldn't tell you why our fan base thinks our front office doesn't make mistakes or draft or sign camp bodies that turn out to be a little better than they thought. Ray Ellison says, NFL is investigating the fouls at this time, according to the Bleacher Report. Yes, sir, Ray. We just literally went over that. You might not have checked this out as we came in, but yes, sir. Nando says, if Ritter's the starter for these last 10 games, how many playoff games can we win scoring 16.4 points per game? You are questioning Desmond Ridder? Is that what you're doing? Nando,
I believe Des can fly.
Don't you know he went?
I believe Des can touch the sky.
19 for 25.
I think about it almost every day.
Yards.
Des can do anything.
And he almost had a game-winning touchdown.
I believe Des can score.
I don't believe
if he doesn't fumble on the floor. I believe Des can fly.
I'm just disappointed.
I believe Des can fly. I believe Des can fly.
Shame on you as a Falcon fan. You should be supporting that, man. Shame on you. Hucklebuck. 71 say, okay, I have a quick question. Do you think Ridder can make all the required throws, and does he have adequate arm strength? Your honest thoughts. Thanks. Hucklebuck? No. If you listen to me last year, you listen to me preseason, no. Can he improve? Maybe. I don't know. But he's got to show me more than what he's showing right now. I know that. David Starr says, we've had enough scandal from pumping in crowd noises to Eugene Robinson. Don't need any more of that. With that being said, the fines will start getting tougher with the gambling money. Yes, in and out, what Smith did puts at risk. But here's the problem, though, David. Again, it could be an argument of integrity from a standpoint of, I don't know, and I hope he wasn't trying to do this. Who's to tell him how many carries somebody should get? I know Bijan is a big fantasy guy, and I know as far as people have him on their teams. And now that you have real life money going on with that, I know that's the first thing everyone says. But the man played 10 or 11 plays, and he actually carried the ball one time. Who are we to say that the coach has to play him every play? Maybe he did want to get Cordero in there. I don't know. All that hypothetical, of course. I don't think that was the case. But I'm just saying that would be my argument if I was Coach Smith. I was Coach Smith and say I did play him. Did y'all watch the game? That's what he's going to say. I'm not saying that. That's what Coach Smith is going to say. But it's going to be interesting. Oblivion says if he would have had a hard hit on the field with his head, with a headache, who knows if he would have gotten injured. So I'm glad he didn't play that much. And that's the thing, Oblivion. We don't know. So you're absolutely correct. Y'all know how you get when you get a headache, man. You ain't trying to. Matter of fact, when you have a headache, you're not even trying to move sometimes. So if he legitimately had one, and that's it. I just don't think. I just think it was odd. My thing is, if something like that happened, don't play him at all. Don't put him at risk. Travis said, what's up, Unc? Tell me about your boy Ridder pulling a Russell Maryland. I love Desmond. Oh, man. For those of you who don't know the Russell Maryland, go look back at some of the good old Cowboys tape. Him and What's my other boy's name? Russell Maryland is another one. What was the other boy name that did the same thing, kind of? I can't think of what his name is at the time, but oh, trust me, I know. John said, Uncle Steve, I've had headaches myself and had to stay out of work. Sometimes those headaches just pop up. Absolutely. Absolutely. JJ the Great, what's going on, man? Say, what's up, We should be 6-4 at worst going into the bye week. Bags is here. What's going on, man? Say ugly win, but if you take them however they come. Move on and adjust. ATL LAX, I guess he didn't like the tribute to my buddy. That's good. I thought it was nice. Oh man. John says he believes that Ritter can fly. Okay.
I love Desmond.
Good job for you, brother. Larry says sign Lamb 3-year deal ASAP. That's our Major League, not Trey. I'm sorry, that's our middle linebacker. I'm sorry, not Troy. I'm looking at the small screen. That's why I'm doing this. That's our middle linebacker, not Troy. Put Troy on the weak side linebacker. Hey, you gonna have to figure something out. Leon Lett, that's who I was talking about. David always. I'll tell you, man, David been correcting me since 2018, 19. That's why I love when he's in the chat. Thank you, brother. And Tavia said, what's going on, Unc? How long is this going to be this learning curve for Ritter? I don't know. We better figure it out. It's too good of a team not to think about that. I'm going to pull up real quick one of the topics that we talked about. Why the Falcons should be in very good position to not lose this grip on first place. Let's go over real quick where we are on this schedule. Okay? We're at, obviously, week 8, and we go to Tennessee. And then week 9, we come home to Minnesota. We go back. We go out to Arizona, week 10. Then we have a bye week. And here's the quote-unquote gauntlet we have to run in the last 6 weeks. Notice gauntlet is in quotes. We got the New Orleans Saints here. We go to the Aaron Rodgers-less New York Jets. We play the Bucks here. We have the winless Carolina Panthers here. We play Indianapolis here, Christmas Eve. We go to Soldier Field and play Chicago New Year's Eve. And we end the season in New Orleans. Now, I know we got a whole lot of time left. But as of this moment, as of October 23rd, we do not have a winning team on the schedule going forward. Obviously, that can change in the next couple of weeks. But right now, it's a possibility, with the exception, maybe. I haven't even checked the line for Tennessee. Is Tennessee favored? And if they are, it can't be much. Maybe the Jets, and maybe New Orleans. Those are the only 3 games I can see out of the next 10 that I can see them saying we're not favored in. Maybe Tennessee, maybe at the Jets, and at New Orleans at the end of the year. Of course, a lot of things have to happen, but I'm just saying. Pull this banner down. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all can see that schedule. Look at that schedule. schedule is pretty interesting. And we're not at any point, we're not a Kansas City, Philadelphia, uh, I guess what I was gonna say Detroit until yesterday, but we're not a team that can go pencil in wins. But goodness gracious, I mean, it is kind of if you're a team that has a quarterback who's not doing very well, right? I love that's my bad. If you have a quarterback that's supposed to be going through the motions and we're supposed to support him and all that other good stuff, this is the schedule you want set up. And you're in first place right now with, I don't know. I mean, a lot of things can happen in the next 10 weeks, but I like our chances. I mean, I really like our chances. So tell me what y'all think. Am I being a little bit too I don't know, jumping the gun or what? All right, John Higgins says, Uncle Steve, I like that. Love that Ritter can fly. Oh, okay. All right, gotcha. Winston, what's going on, Winston? Winston said, what's going on? Chat, smash that like button. Yes, please. Please, please, please smash the like button. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate the support lately. It's been really nice and it's showing in the views. See a lot of new faces in here just about every week. Good to see. I appreciate y'all, man. Seriously. JJ the Great say, Unc, I saw Bucks fans saying they had no business losing the game. Like they weren't lucky to only lose by 3. They could hold this L. JJ, there shouldn't be a Tampa Bay fan saying anything. Tampa Bay should have got blown out that stadium. And I'm telling y'all, we are one AJ twist away from holding them to 3 points. Or I guess what turned out to be 6. That was not a good performance at home from Tampa Bay. What's up, Charles? How you doing, sir? Oblivion says we will have the over 15 Panthers, baby. Yeah. Winston says unrestricted free agent this offseason. We don't have to sign him until after next season. Same type deal we had with Huntley after last season. That's good to know. Larry was listening to the lyrics. That's good to see. Appreciate you, brother. Oh, I'm gonna have to play that again later on for y'all. Since y'all can't. Nando said, with this defense, we are in every game, but can this offense get us to 24 points per game so we can make some noise in the playoffs? We should win every game with this defense. It is extremely weak schedule. Nando, you know good and well, I agree with you 100%. And not only that, the 24-point thing is huge. We actually should have had, and I hate the coulda, woulda, shouldas because it didn't happen for a reason. We should have had 14 easy points. You have the ball 2 times inside the 1. One with somebody Cadillac and strolling into the end zone, and another time when you in the center can't get together. And listen, everybody's talking about who's to blame for that. Let me tell you, I think both of them are to blame. If you're the quarterback on the 1-yard line and you know good and well that every 300-pound Tampa Bay defensive lineman is right up on you. I said this to somebody in a post at Facebook that they put out about it was all land. I mean, not all landman. We just talked about him. All Dahlman. If you're the quarterback, if you have to just get a little uncomfortable, if you know what I mean, with your center, and make sure you got your hands up under there, if any time, that's the time when you need to do that. And I just think that was just such a loss. I don't know. I don't know. I just felt so bad for that. Dave says, line, okay, Falcons by what? What? I am shocked. Totally shocked. Dayrock75 says the back of Ritter's jersey should say can't get right. How dare you, sir?
I love Desmond.
You ought to be shaming yourself. John Higgins says, Uncle Steve, any given day in the NFL. Oh, yeah, and I'm not, listen, you're absolutely right. Anything can happen. So, yes, I understand that we're not going to win all 10 games. Got that already. I'm just saying, hypothetically, the way these teams are playing, you've got to admit that the chances of us having a really productive season, if we get the quote unquote improvement from Desmond Ridder, we should be good, right? That's the thought. JJ says, I could see 11-6, but only if the offense starts scoring in the red zone. See, here's the problem, JJ. I want that too, but that's a big if. And don't think it's not just Desmond's fault.
Arthur Smith is a genius.
You got to get this guy who's calling these plays together too. The end of the first half. What did we just talk about last week? Delay a game, time management, and then what did we hear in the press conference? We'll clean it up. We'll clean it up. Sure, we'll clean it up. We'll clean it up. And then what does he do?
Arthur Smith is a genius.
Almost mess it up again. So I know mistakes happen. I know things go awry. But that's where I've gotten to the point when I'm listening to these press conferences after the game and I hear the "we'll clean it up." Okay. Big Double A is in the house. What's up, man? Say what's up, Unc. I'm still on the fence about Ridder, but looking at this schedule, Lord knows I hope he gets better and leads us to get to the win. To get the win. That's a big listen. I'm right there with you. I hope he gets better. That's so crazy that we're sitting here talking about I hope he gets better. We are literally hinging our thoughts on making to the playoffs on whether we think he's going to get better. I hope he does. Dexter says Terry's been cooking all off season. No sense to stopping now. Absolutely. Let's go get us a real pass rusher. I guarantee the way this defense playing without one, we get a true rusher. Turnovers coming. It's very interesting you say that because all of a sudden the guys have been doing some things the last 2 weeks. I don't know what, but they've been dialing it up. And man, to get a Chase Young, to get a Danielle Hunter, woo, man. Big John, I appreciate you, man. I'm trying my best. Trying to be a little unique in the game. Appreciate it. David Stark says, if we act right, only loss I see is New Orleans on the road and maybe Indy. The Colts are scrappy, and Gardner Minshew will jump up and bite you if you're not careful. Oh, absolutely. And again, y'all, this is all hypothetical. I'm not sitting here projecting 10 straight wins. Let me get that out the way. It's for conversation. And at this time, I didn't line up the schedule like that. But at this time, all the teams that I just mentioned are struggling. Now, fast forward 6 weeks from now, of course, the New York Jets could solidify. Of course, the New Orleans Saints could come back and do what they normally do to us, unfortunately. I'm just saying, at this second, October 23rd, it's just an interesting thought. What's going on? Got AP, stay free. What's going on? With the remaining games, we shouldn't fall short of winning the division for real. That's really my point. Kind of what they're saying right there. That's my point. Travis says, "Did you get permission from Big Low Ruffin before you recorded? I believe Des can fly." You know what? I had his background vocals on the song earlier, but I took them off because I knew shout out to Big Low Country Sports. That's my buddy. Oh, my friend Jonathan Freeman is in the house. What's going on, Jonathan? How you feeling, buddy? Say, don't get ahead of yourself. On paper, doesn't mean W. Absolutely 100%. I agree. But it's fun to talk about. But I absolutely agree with that. Because on paper, as Jonathan mentioned, we were supposed to beat Washington. On paper, probably should have beat Jacksonville, to be honest. Even though they're as hot as they were, what did Jacksonville really do to us? I'll argue we played Jacksonville tougher than their last two opponents. So, JJ says, I think we're favored against Tennessee because of Tannehill's injury. Maybe. But we're playing them there. So Larry says, 35 in the chat, 19 likes on YouTube. Smash that like button, y'all. He's absolutely right. I help a brother out. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. John Higgins says, Steve, it should have been 30-13, and on that fumble, it was Ritter's fault. He has to make sure he has the ball before he moves from center. And again, you're not going to get me to disagree with that a lot, even though Dahlman's placement didn't exactly help. But as a quarterback, listen, these are the things, unfortunately, that come with that huge position. I felt like this year between Arthur Smith, a lot of rogue, all of a sudden Desmond Ritter pom-pom holders, that there's nothing that can be Dez's fault. Dez can make no mistakes, and Dez never has to be accountable. So, that's what makes this so difficult sometimes to talk about. Because I just feel like he's held to a different standard. Dez gets sacks, offensive line. Dez throws interception, wide receiver ran the wrong route. Dez got the wrong Gatorade and throws up. The water boy should have had it cooled at room, or had it at room temperature. It's the same narrative, folks. At some point, he has to take accountability. And he has. I can't say he hasn't. He has. But all these apologists, man, it really gets kind of nerve-wracking sometimes. ATLAS says, honestly, this schedule scares me because we're already making excuses. But Desmond, I didn't even look at this before I said this. We're already making excuses for Desmond and accepting his mediocrity. I see people getting a big head early only to get moved down in the playoffs by the good teams. Yeah. Dude, we are making excuses already. John says, now Uncle Steve, on that play before the half, he should have kneeled the ball and kicked the field goal and to go up at halftime. Yes, I agree. ATLAX says, even worse, this may make the Falcons think we need to keep DR's quarterback one next year. But let me tell you something. We'll see. If he makes the playoffs, it's going to be tough. If he makes the playoffs, Arthur Smith is a genius. He's going to run laps around because he took a third-round pick and molded him into a playoff quarterback if we make it. All the Desmond pom-pom folks are going to sit up and they will unite. And you know, it's going to be interesting. The Rock 75 says Arthur Smith be standing on the sideline looking like Cuba Gooding Jr. from the movie Radio. Wow. It's calling the play and not him. Wow. Not Radio. That's deep, man. A little scary, right? De Niro Wisdom says, bro, we are going to get mowed down. Hey, I hear you. Bag says, if everything goes right, I can see 11-6 or 12-5, especially with no injuries if Desmond continues to develop the right way. Sky's the limit. Arthur Smith just has to keep progressing as a head coach. Okay. A lot of Desmond love. De Niro Wisdom says, and if he makes the playoffs, he deserves to start. And we ain't made the playoffs in 4 years. Well, I mean, if he makes the playoffs, that's a whole different conversation. That would be dumb if we if we didn't. Yeah, I don't think you're gonna have to pull our arm to kind of make us believe that he doesn't get the chance. Come on, man. We know that. Of course he's gonna get the chance. Travis says, and they're not apologists. Let's get it right. Y'all are just, I mean,
I love Desmond.
I don't know. y'all are funny, man. Y'all are absolutely funny. Because it is. It's funny. I just love but I love it though. I love having these conversations being number one in the division. I love having these conversations while we're still making some marked movements up. The defense still has a chance to get better. As great as they played, they still have an opportunity to get better. We've been blessed by not a lot of major injuries. Not on wood. And yeah, being in first place is a great thing. It is. So I do believe that we, have some opportunity to, do some pretty good stuff. So that's where I am as far as the Falcons are concerned. I think we're in a place where, hey, if you're gonna be bad, at least be bad in first place, right? Matt Town Dirty says, "What's up? What's going on, Matt Town? How you feeling, brother?" Douglas is here saying, "I don't hate Desmond. He just needs to do better. That's all." Douglas, you don't have to apologize to me. I get so sick of people that's gonna make Douglas and myself and other people feel like we're being these horrible folks because we giving him critique. I had something happen earlier today. And y'all forgive me. I know I keep saying Facebook because I do a lot of Facebook. I do some Twitter, but it's heavily Facebook. So I had somebody on, and this is probably more to people who are around during this time. And they were like, well, um, Mike Vick never got this much hate when he was here. And I laugh because most of those people who probably say that were probably born after Mike Vick was here and only see the video. When Mike was here, they creamed Mike. They used to kill Mike Vick from a critical standpoint. Anybody who was back there then, please chime in. Mike Vick was one of the most scrutinized quarterbacks in the league. Oh, his form is not good. Oh, all he can do is just run the ball a little bit. Oh, he'll never be a complete quarterback. Even fans in Atlanta. Oh, he can't throw the ball accurately. He can't do this. He can't do that. But see, what happens is time has a funny way of kind of either turning you more into a statue or a hero than you really were. Go back. Of course, we all love the Mike Vick experience. Of course, we were all glued to because he had something. He had that extra with them feet. And every now and then, he would hit that 60-yard bomb down to Traylor and Jefferson and the rest of the guys that were on the team. But when he said they mess with Desmond more than they mess with Mike Vick, please be accurate. Be accurate. Please don't tell me what you thought because your daddy told you. I was there. Bought the season tickets before Mike Vick was drafted. I was there. I saw. Folks loved what he was doing. And I hate to say it too. There was a little bit of, we got to get used to this black quarterback starting in the league. Not to say that there weren't a couple more. But Mike came in probably with more pomp and circumstance. Man, there were folks that, man, if anybody was actually, they ain't talking about 13, 14 years old. Because see, this was before social media. This is before everybody had a couple of, where they could tweet out and type out little comments, and then somebody takes 7 words and say, "You're a hater. You're a this." I'm telling y'all, yeah. Oh, it bothers me. Anyway, I digress. RJ ATL for life. What's up? How you doing, bro? Say, what's your thoughts on the Falcons potentially getting fined for not reporting Bijan Robinson's health situation? Probably, yeah, man. I mean, I as I explained a little earlier before you came in, RJ, I think it's kind of a half and half though, because listen, they may not have reported it, but if they played him and he just didn't feel well, I mean, who's to say Arthur Smith has to hand the ball off to the man 5 to 6 times to satisfy the fantasy football owners, who I know they're in bed with now. But it's not like he didn't play. It's not like he didn't come in on several plays. It's no different than a third string running back coming in on different sets. So it's going to be a little difficult. Were they a little evasive possibly, Falcons? Yes. But it's going to be hard to really go all the way in when the man actually played. What's the NFL say? Oh, when you get in, you got to hand the ball to him 5 times because he's one of the top fantasy players. It's going to be tough. John says, Uncle Steve, check this out. If he makes the playoffs and then win a game in the playoffs, yeah, man, then they'll have to do something with their contract. Andrew Griffin said, it's not hating on DR9. Is that he has to play better. The potential to be special is there. And here's the thing, Andrew. I was believing you when you said he has to play better. Is there really anything special that he's done, though? And most of the time when you start talking about quarterbacks, you look at a certain thing that he does well. What absolute, matter of fact, that's going to be my next question. Name me the attribute of Desmond Ridder that you say you see that's special in him. And I'm not picking on you, Andrew. That's your opinion. So I'm not trying to say you're absolutely wrong, but I'm just saying I just don't see it. You might see something different. But if you're here in the chat, and hopefully as y'all coming in, please hit the like button for me on Uncle C's Lounge. And on Facebook, please hit the like button on the video for me too. I appreciate that. It gets this stuff out there so we can get this thing out here. Share the video, do whatever you want to do. If you're in the chat right now, put in what special attribute or what special skill do you see in Desmond right now that makes you think, oh man, he's going to be pretty good. And leadership is out of it because you can't see leadership when you're out there on the field. I'll take that back. I guess you can. Yeah, you know what? Y'all can say leadership if you want to. But I think that's a cop-out answer. Because leadership, most of the time when people say leadership, that means you don't have any special physical skills. But I want to know. Please. Larry says, if we can get a good right tackle or center, I would prefer that more, to be honest. The only fumble that wasn't Ritter's fault was the blindside strip in his throwing motion. McGarry got whooped on that play. I agree with that. I agree. And I'll still say the one with him and Dahlman, I'll take 60-40, but I still say Ritter still should be responsible for that. But brother, Smart Ride's in the house. What's going on, man? Said Falcons in first place, fantastic. Draft a quarterback in the first round. Trade up to do it. Hate me all you want. Get a quarterback. Keep Lamont in the lineup. You already know how I rock Smart Ride. Hey, tell it like it is. Winston says Ritter has to cut down on these turnovers. He literally is the weakest link on this team right now. If he shows up his played NFC Championship or Super Bowl in this team, I'm calling this year. Is that a legitimate? How off is Winston on this? He's not. Think about it. Think about that. Running backs, check. Tight ends, check. Offensive line. I've seen Joe Burrows get there with no offensive line. Defense, check. Special teams, big check. How your quarterback plays. Matt Town Dirty said Vic throwing the ball to the hot dog vendor. I'm telling y'all, man. Vic used to get, man. They didn't. I saw that post. I wish I could go pull it up. They never talked about Vic like that. It's like, okay. Okay, boomer. Travis says, we say Desmond needs to be consistent. Desmond's here. I hate Ritter. I hope he throws 10 interceptions. That's good. That's about what they say, though. It's true. David Starr says, pull up some of the old Shannon Sharp clips at CBS and tell me Vic wasn't criticized. Bruh. Everybody lit into him. Now, that's not to say that he didn't have players that were on his side and team and folks that were, supporting him. But Vic did not play a great fundamental game when he was here in Atlanta. He didn't. That's why they were bringing Bobby Petrino in here before all the debacle happened. But his skill set, unlike we were talking about for Mr. Ritter, you saw what he could do and what we could take advantage of. Winston says the rule is if you have to report injuries by the night before or if he's cleared to play, he has to play snaps relative to what he's produced. So it's very possible he will get fined. And okay, if that's the rule, then cool. But I just don't think you can go deep on it because he did play. And yeah, that snaps relative, that's a slippery slope. What if you're playing a team? What if you're playing a team that's so great in the run defense, you don't want to run the ball? See, and I'm not fighting you against it, Winston. I'm fighting the rule. What if you play against a team that has average giving up 1 yard a carry? And you just don't want him in the lineup. I don't know. Jamal, what's going on? Say he got us down the field to kick the field goal and win the field game 3 straight times. No, he didn't get us there by himself. The defense gave us the ball back. Let's tell the whole story. Don't tell the story that's great to your narrative. I mean, that's fine that you holding the flame for him. I love Desmond. But at the same time, he didn't get us down the field. He made a great throw to get to Kyle Pitts. But the defense had to hold Tampa Bay to a field goal so we didn't have to go down and score a touchdown, something that he had a hard time doing in the second half. I hear what you're saying. I hear you. But spread that love around. John Higgins was there, so I was with you. Run 23, row 5, seat 1. 212 It was seat 1 and 2. I'm trying to remember what row we were in now. We were in the end zone. I don't know whether that be the north or the south end zone. We were right in the end zone part. Andrew said, "My bad, Aunt. The potential for the team is special." No, oh, okay. Yeah, and I wasn't trying to correct you, brother. You good. You good. All right, we talk about accolades. Dre Harrison. Dre says, pocket presence.
I love Desmond.
Okay. Improved accuracy.
I love Desmond.
Okay. Touch on the
I
ball.
love Desmond.
And Dre, improvement going through his reads.
I love Desmond.
Okay. I hear you. I hear you, Dre. I am, be it far from me to pull any pom-poms from you. And that's great. That's great. You see all of that right now. Okay. We'll see. We'll see. Bag says he's poised. Doesn't always show it, but he's poised. He can get out of trouble if the play breaks down. Now, he has showed a little bit of that recently. There's a couple of games there where he was kind of standing in there. I was like, oh, no. Nando says leadership. All right. King Monet says 76%, 250 yards against a stingy Bucks defense. I'm not down that. And I guess the 3 turnovers, which two of them are his fault, one of them may not. That doesn't count either. It's tell the whole thing. It's tell the whole story. I hear you. Ritter is cool-headed after making a mistake. I might be able to possibly give you part of that because you do have to hurry up and dismiss what you did and get back on the field. I can't say that in Jacksonville because right after you made the first intercept, the pick six, you go right back in the next play, do a pick six. Dre, I have such a hard time with that last Cadillac into the end zone. I really do, because as somebody who is supposed to be this learning, this sponge, this person that's supposed to be soaking all of this up, I can't have you Cadillac in the end zone like you've done it several times. And at that part of the game, you need to be sprinting like nobody's business. You did it in the first half. So I hear you. I don't want to dampen everybody's optimism, because you should have optimism. I have optimism for him because I need my team to win. But I'm still looking for the special. ATL says, there's nothing special I see about DR9 when it comes to the NFL, not college or high school level. Nothing. Time will unfortunately tell, but I see a third-round backup quarterback, and that's it. Hey. John says, Uncle Steve, I got to see the rest of this season to answer that question. And it is kind of unfair. We do need to, it is kind of it's a question that's hard to ask, because depending on your narrative, if you're a big-time Desmond fan,
I love Desmond,
you'll go to Desmond's still a rookie because he played 4 games. Man, I cannot wait until week 13, because then we could stop that narrative. But, you know, it is fair. It's incomplete. But I just don't. Right now, I don't. And that doesn't mean I'm right. I'm not a genius about this thing. I don't ever claim to be this, I know there are a lot of folks, I know football, and they talk about Arthur Smith.
Arthur Smith is a genius.
And they go around and, just, all that means nothing because you're sitting here behind the same screen I am. Anybody who does this same thing that I'm doing, obviously you're not that much, because You probably be on somebody's team doing some kind of coaching or something like that. So when I hear this narrative about it, oh, y'all don't know football. Oh, y'all stop talking about Desmond.
I love Desmond.
Stop. Grown men. Larry says in my CPO, C3PO voice, special for dads, loading, loading. Error. No data provided. That is special. Please choose another category. The Gator reply, you are wrong, my friend. You are wrong. You are wrong. Dre Harrison says, ATL LAX, he said, when it's all said and done, Ritter will be the best quarterback in the draft class.
I love Desmond.
All right, Dre. Okay. All right. I hear you. I hear you, bro. King Monet said the same thing. When it's all said and done, Ritter will be great.
I love Desmond.
I hear y'all. I hear y'all. I'm down with you. Jamal says, I didn't say he was. I was just answering one of those questions you asked. Oh, no, it's all good, brother. I'm not. And look, we not taking anything super serious here, Jamal. No, it's all good. It's all good, brother. Justin Swisher says he's got the potential to be Brock Purdy. Okay, maybe. But he's got to have a good coach.
Arthur Smith is a genius.
So we'll see how that works out. David says he's improved as a passer in small increments, but he has improved. I can agree with that. I can agree. ATLAX says Vic had special written all over him. Potential, pizzazz, raw talent, ability, measurables, and all of that. I'm not even a Vic fan like that, but those comparisons with Desmond Ritter are laughable. I laughed when I heard the same thing because it was trying to compare how the fans didn't like him, which I'm trying to tell people. Vic had his quote unquote haters as well. Dre says, it's not about loving Desmond. It's about seeing improvement from the first game to the current. Actually, it is a little bit, Dre. It's not even me. Because, see, here's the problem. I don't hate them. I don't hate the guy. I would just like for us to be honest and say, while, yes, he has improved from the first time we saw him in New Orleans last year. But let's not act like he has. And it's not you specific, Dre. So don't think I'm pointing you out as just being the Desmond expert. I'm just saying that I have heard so much malarkey about Desmond Ritter being this, sponging of a. Sponging in all this information and hitting all these throws and showing all this moxie and doing and he has in spurts. But I have yet to see him. I take that back. Houston was probably about the closest he came to putting together a pretty complete game. I cannot say he did not. Houston was a really good game for him. The last two games is going to be hard, including yesterday, because as much as the numbers look good, you can't give up 14 points inside the 1 yard line twice. One, because of a fundamental exchange between you and your center, which again, I don't know if you were here, Dre. I say that's a 60-40 between him and Dahlman, because still, even if Dahlman did not hike it back all the way, if I'm a quarterback at the 1 yard line, knowing that they're crowding the line, I got to make sure, even if I have to get a little too uncomfortable underneath with my center, to make sure I get that ball in my hand. And the second one, it's unexcusable. If Tampa turns around and scores a touchdown after the little long Baker run, instead of getting held, we'd be talking about a loss, and we still be. And trust me, the trade for whoever quarterback would be talked about in this city more than it is now because we won. And I'm happy that we did win. Kim Monet said, can be cleaned up. 11 games played professionally. Look at some greats who didn't start well. I'm not comparing them to any greats. Tired of that too. I'm not comparing them to Peyton Manning. I'm not comparing them to him. I'm worried about Desmond Ridder today. And here's the problem with that, King. And it's not a rant at you. This is a rant at the whole situation. We had to wait. We've been waiting since 2018, beginning of the 2018 season, before we've been in this situation where 2 times this year we've been over 500. No, actually 3. 3 weeks we've been over 200, over 500. And at some point, whether we have to wait for the maturity of a quarterback, I think some fans just feel like we deserve a winner now. Now, does that mean throwing the whole $100 and $200 million at a Lamar Jackson and stuff like that? No, I'm not telling you you have to. Did I want to? Absolutely. But now, well, not even now. When we knew that wasn't going to happen, I'm like, okay, let's go with Dez. The organization told me Dez is so good and Dez is so great, he only needs 8 snaps in preseason. So when I hear the apologists come up and say, you only had 11 games, you only had this, but shoot, he could have had 3 more games of work during preseason. So you're telling me, in essence, it's okay to miss some really good practice time during the first 3 preseason games, but then when it gets to the regular season games, you want me to have patience with him for some of the fundamental mistakes he's making. Which one is it going to be? You can't have it both ways. You can't tell me in preseason, he ready, and then get to the regular season and tell me, well, he needs time. He's only had 3 games. But when in preseason, you told me I don't need any time. And I'm sorry, it makes a difference because now my team's in first place. And if my team's in first place, I'm telling y'all, if we go down because of fundamental mistakes and stuff we got to keep cleaning up, that's not going to float with this fan base. It'll float with the fanboys and girls. That's fine. I'm not worried about them. I'm worried about the team. Not worried about people who all in on Ridder. Y'all can wear his jersey, throw his pom-pom. Y'all can do that all you want. I'm worried about what this team is going to do. And he sometimes, and almost yesterday, but he didn't, can cost you a game. That's real. That's all. That's it. So when the excuse makers and everything, it's just, I don't know. Demetri said the Desmonds want their Desmond bees. Oh, man, said Ridder at this point is consistent with turning the ball over, just being real. Can we argue with that when he's turned the ball over? I know the paper will say that was a turnover on the sack, but I'll give him 5. Yeah, 5 turnovers. I don't care if the receiver turned the wrong way and whatever. It's so funny to me. I never saw this for Mike Vick. I never saw this for Matt Ryan. We start saying, oh, it's everybody else's fault except the quarterback. Because I know it's happening now because what happened before was the Desmond apologists at the beginning of the year. Desmond never turns the ball over. Now he's turned the ball over 6 times in the last 2 games. Desmond never loses a game at home. He lost the game at home. See, all the excuses are starting to fade. So all you're going to have left is you and him in a room. I love Desmond. That's it. King says, so am I the only one that sees their potential? No, you had a couple people that said potential. You had a couple of people. Not gonna lie to you. Tate says sound effects killing me, man. I got a lot of time on my hands during my off days. I'm sorry. ATLAX says, this ain't even the first time Desmond Cadillac into the end zone. Got lucky the other time not to lose his ball right after crossing the line. Isn't he supposed to be learning from his mistakes? That's what I say. But again, that's why it gets frustrating. Not because I see it. I'm gonna call him out for it. But what happens a lot is you got people that make excuses for it. And I'm sorry, folks, if he's going to be called the NFL starting quarterback, then gosh darn it, we got to call him out. Can't call Daniel Jones trash and can't say he makes mistakes and then look at our quarterback and say, well, but he's growing. No. You have 6 backups playing yesterday and 3 of them won. So we got to stop. Dexter says, I love this. Y'all love. I'm sorry, man. Bedtime Dirty's in the house with the super chat, man. I appreciate you, brother.
Woo-hoo. Super chat. Express yourself. Super chat. Tell us what you're talking about. Super chat. Express yourself. I know it's Uncle Steve in the house.
First super chat of the day, Mount Bedtime Dirty said, will October 31st be a trick or treat for free agency? I don't know. I hope it's a good one. I would love to get my hands on, and thank you so much, Matt Town. I appreciate that. I hope it's a treat for us. We need it. We need it. OG Tony, what's up, man? Said, love to pass the pits when the Falcons. Oh, shoot. Absolutely. And see, I'm not going to play the game of when he does it. I give him full credit. That was a beautiful pass to Kyle Pitts. Absolutely. Similar to the beautiful pass he threw to Drake London against Houston. At that time, with that pressure, to make those throws on that defense is awesome. But I just also want the other side to be told too. Because some people will say, well, he made that pass and won the game. So what are y'all complaining about? I'm complaining because you had 3 plays where we probably could have been kneeling the ball down instead of throwing the ball in pressure situations. That's all. He failed in that last week against Washington, a team that put up 7 points against a lowly New York Giants team. So that's why. David said, and as far as not replacing him, even if we make the playoffs, there's a team in Kansas City that replaced their quarterback who was making the playoffs with a more talented guy. How did that work out for them? Ding, ding. I'm sure Alex Smith was sitting around saying, yeah, but I made the playoffs. Yeah, but he's better. But I gave y'all 3 years in a row. Yeah, he's better. But yeah, he's just better. Yeah. WCG says Ritter has only put together one whole game where he was good from start to finish. That was the Texans game. I agree. If he doesn't play good like that in the Titans game, it's Heineke time. I hear you. Big Dre says, you know I'm going to stand 10 toes down for Ritter. I hear you, brother. I really do.
I love Desmond.
I hear you. Ask yourself this question. Is DR playing better than Marcus Mariota? If so, what are we talking about? As fans, we hunt the good stuff. Here we go. So, again, another deflection. What does this got to do with Marcus Mariota? Marcus Mariota is gone. And this time last year, Marcus Mariota was 3-4. It's not like Desmond is tons better than what he was doing at the time. So I hear you. Let's not act like he's playing leaps and bounds better. And I'll tell you this, Dre, in defense of both of them as quarterback, Mariota and Ritter, got a much better defense. Got a much better defense playing. I'll say this. This is going to sound blasphemous, Dre. Let me turn this around on you. Do you think if we had this defense last year, would Marcus Mariota have been better? And before you laugh and joke yourself out of the chair, remember the blown lead against the Saints? Remember how the Rams ran up all that stuff on that? I don't think either one of those teams do that against this defense, which means the average quarterback, substitute Ritter for Mariota, would have probably been 4-3. Who knows? Maybe 5-2. I'm not naive. I hear what you're saying. I didn't want Mariota here in the first place, but I understood the mission with Mariota. The only mission Mariota came in here was to bridge the gap. To bridge the gap between whatever we were going to do going into the 2023 season. Did we want to win? Yes. But ask yourself that question. And you're right. As fans, you do hunt the good stuff. I haven't seen a lot of good stuff. I've seen that. I mean, not that bad. I haven't seen as much good stuff as some folks are trying to feed me. I've seen some good stuff. I've seen Ritter definitely improve from game 1 to game 7. No doubt, not going to sit here and try to front on that. But it is kind of interesting that since that Jacksonville game, we've had some problems with giving the ball back to the other folks. Got to clean that up. Got to. Especially, and you know why I'm probably more passionate about it right now, Dre? Because this team can win. Because this team has an opportunity to do some things. And I don't want the most important position in North American history to be in the hands of somebody who Cadillacs across the goal line after 10 or 11 games he's played. I want that scrappy quarterback that's running for his life, that's saying to himself, I'm fighting for my next year's paycheck. That's why I'm hard on him. I don't like the fact that he was anointed the quarterback as opposed to, well, we went through this competition and he's the guy. I'm not afraid of that. Dre, you come on, bro. You my age. You know the deal. How do you like it when folks come in if you're doing something at either your job or whatever you're doing, and they bring somebody in and just tell them, say, he's going to be the guy without really having true competition? It just doesn't hit good with me. Facebook used to say you have a good point. I don't know what it was, but I appreciate it. ATLAS says anomalies like Brock Purdy and Tom Brady got folks believing like the Falcons have such a lucky history. I'd rather look for a genuinely good quarterback than continue to wait on luck. We've been waiting. It ain't nothing but the truth. Raymond, what's going on, man? So tell me, what do you think should have been done for quarterback to improve the team? I think we should. And again, it's an old story, Raymond. And I'm not telling you, so before everybody lose their mind, I'm not telling you do anything this year with this. We blew this 2 years ago. You blew this when you picked Kyle Pitts instead of, I know everybody will say Justin Fields, and I wanted Justin Fields, but shoot, if you would have got a quarterback. I don't think, and Matt Jones is tough. Trey Lance is such an anomaly because we really didn't get a chance to see him play. So it's so hard to say he was trash because he really didn't play that much. But I wish we would have gotten Justin Fields while Matt Ryan was here. He could have learned. He could have grown. And by this year, when we would have gotten all that money off, we would have had a quarterback in a system with a genius of a coach.
Arthur Smith is a genius.
And can hopefully turn him into something in his program that I think would be better than Desmond, in my opinion. So you ask what I would have done, that's what I would have done. I would have done that 2 years ago. I wouldn't have waited till 2022 to draft my quarterback. Sean, what's up, Sean? He said, give Dez 1.5 fumbles. What's that? Thank you, wrong. Oh, man. You're right. You're right. John says, give up 14 points inside the one pre-chunk of steel. Hey, that's what happened, right? OG Tony, why are we complaining about a winning record? OG Tony, you complaining about a winning record. Nobody's complaining about a winning record. Who said they were complaining about a winning record? Now, I haven't heard anybody on here complain about a winning record. Not one. There's not been one time in this post where I say, dang it, we 4-3 and in first place. Dang. It's not what I'm talking about. Talking about a whole different subject. Talking about the play of your quarterback. That's what we're talking about. Who's complaining about a winning record? See, and when you make comments like that, it's that's not what we're talking about. Yeah, it's really not. And I see you down here say Ritter would be great for somebody. Okay, some Falcon fans still have a loser mindset. I hear you, brother. We have a loser mindset because we've been losing. We didn't have a loser mindset in 2008 to 2012. You have a loser mindset when your team has been losing 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022. Tony, my man, find me a reason for us to have a winning mindset. Find me. And don't get me wrong. The glimpse of hope of 4-3 absolutely does give me some optimism. But let's not pretend like we've arrived. We're complaining about the personnel, not about a winning record. Matter of fact, you came in late, so you didn't hear anything I said. You get a chance, go back to the beginning. I'll guarantee you will see what's up. But appreciate your comment. WCG says people will put up with showboating from stars they won't get from game matches. Oh, man. Millie says, all I'm mad about is AS really showing me he don't give a thing about my fantasy team. Should at least have Bijan a sweep or something. Are you talking about my coach?
Arthur Smith is a genius.
You better leave AS alone. Daniel, what's going on, Daniel? Long time no hear. So Daniel, Dahlman has been an issue since last year. Don't blame it all on. No. See, again, and it's so funny because you and Tony, God bless y'all, y'all coming in late. Go back to the beginning of the video. Like some of the guys who I see in here now, we talked about that and nobody blamed it all on Ritter. It's so interesting to me, but that's today. You can't say anything critical. You heard me talking critical about Desmond Ritter, and you just went here and said, don't blame it all on Ritter for the Dahlman Center. And the Dahlman thing. And I didn't. Go back. Apologize later. It's all good because that's not what I said. Andrew said DR9's got to clean it up before the defense goes Jonathan Allen to the media. Daniel says, at least Ritter doesn't throw it up from his back. Well, he threw 3 interceptions last week. So whether it was on his back or not, I don't even know if Marcus threw 3 interceptions in the game last year for the record, but not that I want him. I'm just putting it up for the fact. Dre says Marcus would still be Marcus. He's not even starting in the league. Oh, yeah. And listen, again, I said in the situation we were in last year. Stay with me. I didn't say he was great. I didn't say we wouldn't be done with him. Your question was talking about who would I rather have. And my retort was, with this defense here, I don't think it would have been that much different. Matter of fact, I'll even tell you this. some of the sacks that Ritter took this year earlier, I think Mariota would be able to get out of some of that stuff. This is not making Mariota better. Ritter is much better than Mariota. I'm just telling you, in last year's situation, you said switch them up. If Mariota had this defense, then it could have been a different story. Because I'm naming like 4 games right off the hand that I know for a fact the defense would have held check. Justin says Marcus Mariota would have won the division with this defense and received an extension. I hope he wasn't going to get the extension, but he would have. He may have. He may have. Facebook user says he looks all world and turns around and looks like a high school quarterback. And that's consistency. That's the thing we really want from him. Dre said if we had this defense with MM, we would be under 500 because I'm sure MM would have more interceptions. He didn't. Marcus didn't throw as many interceptions. He threw some, but remember, he didn't even throw the ball that much last year. But, I'm not going to argue about that because I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. Oh, Dre says, LOL, I appreciate you giving me the extra wisdom. Oh, okay. All right, my bad. I apologize, Dre. I apologize, my friend. See, I'm trying to make you smarter, brother. I'm trying, not smarter, wiser. I should say smarter. Wiser. Meaning experience. I got you. Millerville says, is it me or does it look like Ritter be struggling to run? It's kind of interesting because, I remember that too. Because Malik didn't run at the combine, Ritter actually had the fastest combine time for quarterbacks. So, yeah. OG Tony says Stevie Wonder will see. That Ritter is a diamond in the rough. Okay.
I love that.
So let me tell you this, OG Tony. If that was the case, Ritter would be in Pittsburgh right now. So that's not. I mean, that's a little bit inaccurate, but okay. Listen, and for the record, Tony, I absolutely hope I'm wrong. And I hope you come in 2 years when we're holding up the Lombardi and say, Uncle Steve, you hated on that man the whole time, which I didn't. But you didn't like him. You didn't want to do that all the time. And I'm trying to tell you.
I love that.
I'll just say, I hope you're able to do that. I don't think so, but I hope you are. David said, we're complaining because the quarterback turning over the football is not a recipe to sustain winning. Bingo. Hi, dang nephew. What's going on, brother? I ain't seen you in a minute. How you been doing? Say Ryan Nielsen and Jesse Bates were my favorite additions this offseason. Now you know we can teach the team 5 straight losing seasons. And the teams can't critique the fans can't critique the team. Again, Armani, because see, yourself, me, David, and some other folks that I recognize along the way. See, y'all already know. Some of these folks just kind of, I don't know. It's just hard, man. The fan base is very sensitive when it comes to Ritter. They are, which is interesting to me. I would really like to sneak in a secret Desmond Ritter meeting, and
I love Desmond.
I would love to sneak in one of their meetings and see what they're talking about, because I'm pretty sure I got some ops probably out on me too. And probably need to go to the Arthur Smith meetings too.
Arthur Smith is a genius.
I'm sure he got some folks that's not happy with the critiques either. Gaz boy, what's going on? Say I agree with Uncle Steve and Dre. We have to fix the mistakes to too many being made with so much on the line. But I see this young offense growing and coming along, dropping the mistakes. I do too. I really do. I mean that, and I'm not trying to placate. folks, with what I'm talking about. Folks, I want this team to get better. I want this team to get better, and I want my quarterback to play more consistent. And the great thing about this all, as was pointed out to me, is we're doing all this with a winning record. We have questions with a winning record. What a great place to be. Edward says, hey, do we pay Jeff Okudah? And is he out playing AJ Terrell at this moment? I asked you your first part, yes. Your second part, yes, he is out playing AJ. Here's the problem. AJ's gonna be pulling the tough assignments most of the time. And look, folks, Mike Evans is no he is not a slug. Most of the time you see AJ, he's on the top guys. And guess what? He's gonna get beat. But you know what he did after that touchdown? He played much better. Second half, you didn't hear a peep out of Mike Evans, except on a 5 or 6 yard pass or something like that. Matter of fact, he had a lot of pass, but that was his only big play. AJ did a very good job. But Okudah, if you're smart, I think, Edward, I think you go ahead and try to get that done before he hits free agency. If the Falcons are successful, which I think we're going to be at the end of the year, I think you try to line him up and get him signed prior to the end of the season. Because I think then you might be able to get him for a little bit cheaper. Think about it. This is the team that gave him the second chance. This is the team that gave him opportunity. You can sign him to a 2-year extension, not extension, but a 2-year contract. I wouldn't sign him long term because his injury problems are still problematic. But I would at least give him maybe 2 years, 25, 2 years. I mean, for a good cornerback, don't get mad, y'all. AJ's next contract is going to be huge. That contract for AJ is going to be somewhere in the 585, 590, somewhere like that. That's just how it goes. That's just how it goes. Daniel says you can get Campbell back on a 1-year deal. Same with Dupree. Okudah would be nice to re-sign. Granted, he stays healthy. I agree with you with those two, with maybe Dupree and maybe Campbell. I think if Okudah finishes out the year healthy, it's no way he's gonna sign a 1-year contract. I think he's gonna be much, much better than that. Got another super chat in the house, I see. That's what I'm talking about. My brother Greg's in the house.
Chat, super chat, super chat.
Hey.
Chat, super chat, super chat.
Greg, say what's up,
Chat, super chat, super chat. Chat, super chat, super chat. To your left, to your left, to your left, to your left.
Greg's here with Greg Custom Kicks. Y'all make sure y'all check him out. Some of the great custom-made shoes here in the Atlanta area. I got mine. You need to get yours. Greg's Custom Kicks. Y'all check him out. Say, what's up, Unc? Ain't nothing like complaining with a winning record and being 5th in the NFL as we speak on defense. Let me tell you something, Greg. That's such a great thing. I love these debates. These debates are awesome because just like you said, we're talking about these things as we are winning. That's a beautiful thing. It's beautiful. Thank you, Greg. I appreciate that, brother. Dre says MMTD to interception ratio is 15-9. You talking about last year? And if that's the case, and our buddy Desmond has thrown 6 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. So right now, he's a little behind that pace. I hope that wasn't trying to say Mariota's going to be worth so. 6 and 6. WCG says, I don't want to see Ritter run. He doesn't have the moves of Vic or Lamar and not big enough like Cam to absorb hits. Defenses are hoping he runs to knock him out the game. This is true. But I do like the fact that he can make little runs like he did yesterday. Those were some good runs. I do. I do like to see him on occasion. So just like AP just said, I would like to see Ritter use his legs more instead of staring down receivers. Now that he does stare down, folks. Scott, what's up, man? Said the Stevie Wonder feel Dez wrist like Ray Charles. Oh man, y'all leave Stevie alone, man. Stevie, my man, y'all leave Stevie out of this, man. Way crazy. Matt Town Dirty said fast, but not quick to torque. Yeah. Todd says, Uncle Steve, why so confident? Confident about what? Confident about elaborate, my friend. Billy says Arthur Smith is a genius. He is.
Arthur Smith is a genius.
He is. How did y'all talk about? Oh man. Billy said, how did you get that James Brown's voice into Arthur Smith is a genius? With a lot of practice. Oh, Demetrius said, that's my teammate in my quarter. That's my quarterback in my Terrell Owens voice. I actually was gonna do that, so I'm glad y'all. I might do that for the next one. Edward said, right, let's pay him now. That's what I think. I think, yeah, you gotta pay. Demetrius agrees with you. Absolutely. Millie says week 12 to 13. Yeah, during that bye. Todd said let him walk. Okay. I got you. Daniel, who is always very much up on this type of stuff. I love the information he puts out for me. He says he's at about two years, 24.5. That's about right. That's about right for Okuda. That's right on point. That's kind of where I was talking about. Thanks, Daniel. Sean says, I love the win. I work at Delta Airlines and I had a bet with the Tampa Bay office, and whatever team won and whoever signed up for the challenge got a chance to win a round trip ticket for 2. Hey, that's what I'm talking about, brother. Good job. And you won. Good job, brother. I'm gonna just give you a super chat just to.
I know when you super chat, Uncle Steve will chat right back. I know when you super chat, Uncle Steve will talk right back. Every time you donate to me, you.
Hey, you deserve that, man. Great win. Good job. Congratulations. Glad you were able to get that. Awesome. Bags, what's up, man? Says most definitely got to get ahead of AJ and Okuda. Go ahead and get AJ and Okuda out of the way and pay. Also go ahead and pay D. Alford as well, too. One of the best nickel cornerbacks in the game right now, and that's hard to get. Let me tell you something. You know how you could tell D. Alford's doing his job? Because you never hear. I can't say it never, but you hardly hear them say his name. That lets you know that D. Alford is taking care of business. You hardly ever hear them say his name. Winston says we should sign Okuda this offseason. Let AJ play his 5th-year option. Then we sign AJ and Pitts together. Well, I mean, if you're going to do I disagree. I think you got to sign. You probably don't want to go into next season without extending AJ. And it's probably going to be critical that you do extend AJ because you might be able to do some more with that bonus money and spread it out. Because next year is actually AJ's 5th-year option. You don't want him to go into the year playing on that 5th-year option. You want that to be his extension year. So this summer, you'll be seeing them. They'll definitely be trying to do something with AJ. And then with Pitts, I mean, it'll be interesting to see, man. I mean, the Pitts thing, he's starting to round into shape. It'll be interesting to see what they do with Pitts. I don't know. I like him. I just don't know right now if he's in the Kittle, Kelsey, Andrews pay payday range. But we're going to probably have to make some decisions, folks. We probably will. King Monet says, y'all act like mistakes aren't being fixed. We good, y'all. Here's the thing, King. Each game we've come back and said we fixed. Perfect example. Last week, Washington. Delay a game, time management. Those are the small things. We can get them fixed. End of the first half. Time management. Delay a game. I mean, so I hear you. Like, well, y'all complaining about the mistake. Not all the time. And I'll tell you this: turnovers are turnovers. So if you told me you threw 3 interceptions last week, Desmond, and you're gonna get it fixed, but yet you turn over the ball, let's be fair and say 1.5 times, even though the fumble will go on his record with the sack. And you turn the ball over the next week. One of them totally inexcusable. So, I mean, it is. And I hear you. I don't want to be, I'm not trying to sound like a Downey Thomas. Yeah, we made some more, but when the bumps and bruises are gone, we'll be good. Listen, easy. And matter of fact, great optimism. I'm glad y'all feel that way. And I want y'all to still feel that way about your team. I do. Because at the end of the day, folks, the biggest takeaway is we're in first place. And with this schedule that we have, folks, I'm sorry. I can't help but to feel optimistic about what's on this schedule. This schedule looks very manageable. It looks very 10-7-ish, 8-11-6-ish, high end 12-5-ish, but that would be a real stretch. But if you tell me right now we go 10-7, 11-6, I'm not going to sit here and try to. The way the defense is playing, hopefully with the continued improvement of our quarterback, we'll see. I hope so. I don't doubt Desmond Ritter's go get it. I do believe he has something to prove. I do believe he has a chip on his shoulder. But as a Falcon fan that's heard this song and dance for decades, I'm sorry, it's going to take more than just a few nice words and some talk from a coach.
Arthur Smith is a genius.
To just make me believe that it's going to happen overnight. Until then, y'all, I'm going to let y'all get to this Monday night game. I know I'm a little bit late getting out of here, but y'all had some good chat today. Please, on your way out, make sure y'all like the video for me. I really appreciate it so we can get this thing out there into the atmosphere. Appreciate everyone on Facebook and the Atlanta Bird Game checking us out today. And definitely appreciate everyone on Uncle Steve's Lounge and YouTube. Please continue to support the channel. If you haven't subscribed, I saw a lot of new faces in here. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, man, so y'all can get notifications when I come in. The next scheduled time is on Friday at 1 o'clock. I'll be in for the Friday brunch. We do it every week. We talk about the next game, which is the Tennessee Titans, a game that we should win, but you know how that goes. Until then, everyone have a great week. We appreciate everyone joining us. And don't forget, we're in first place, and they're not. Until then, this is your Uncle Steve. We'll talk to y'all later on. Appreciate y'all. Be blessed. Have a great night.